Okay, fellow traders, give me 1 second here. All right, let me just share my screen and let me get my audio. All right, good. Looks like everyone could see and hear loud and clear. Cam is up, everyone. Rhonda, good to see you. Rick, good to see you. Jan, everybody, welcome. My name is Fausto from Cyber Trading. You can't hear? Could everyone hear loud and clear? I think everybody should hear okay. Yep, okay. If you can't hear, just log out and log back in. For some people, we'll just go from there. All right. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to be teaching everyone basically how to master real-time order book analyst. I want to show you some stocks that are moving in today's market. What you're going to see today is going to probably be the most unbelievable thing that you've ever seen in trading. And you're going to notice that things you've been doing have been the opposite of anything else. So I'm just going to go right into the market. I'm going to show you a couple of things that are moving. I want to start off talking about Tesla. Okay. Now, I think everyone is very familiar with the word Tesla. It's a popular stock, and I want to just share my execution system with you. Hold on a second. Okay, so does everyone see Tesla right now? All right, everybody can see it okay? All right, can you all tell me what's happening to Tesla at this moment in time? What is it doing? What's the trend? What is it doing? Let's just see how everybody is, how you all answer this question. Rick says it's dumping. Rhonda says major up and downs. Okay, good. All right. That's what I want to hear. Anything more? Come on. What about you, Gary? What about you, Ingrid? What about you, Jan? Guys, don't be embarrassed. Jeff, Jerry, Joan, all of you guys. Because if you don't listen, let me just tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't know what's happening Tesla right at this moment in time, you should not be trading at all. Okay. Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm here to kind of educate all of you why too many of you are focusing on the past and not focusing on the future. So let me just get my crayons out here also. And you could see right here that the stock literally just kind of came down right here, right? And it's on its downtrend, and it's, right around here, okay? Now, why did the stock, every time it hit this price around 1950, it went down, and every time it came up to this price right around this $15, $14.50, $14, it went up? Can anybody tell me? Why is it trading in this trading pattern? Let me draw a trend line for you. Here and here. People are investing, okay. Lewis says there's buyers. Rick says there's big buyers and sellers. Okay, so you all say big buyers and sellers. All right, so what you're telling me is that when I add in a stochastic, when I add in an RSI, what people like to use, when people talk about Shanken and they talk about Bollinger Bands, and they talk about a MACD, okay? So you're telling me that all this thing that people use has nothing to do other than what you all just said. It's about buyers and sellers. All right? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Now, what I'm going to show you is something that is called level 4. And I'm going to bring up level 4 here. I'm going to clear this all out. I'm going to look at Tesla. And I'll blow this up for you. Now, do you see this big red line right here around 220? Okay. That big red line is what you call sellers. Do you see this big red line down here at the bottom around 215 and 214, right around there? You see that big red line right there? right there is a 66,000 share buyer. Okay. Look at the buyers at 216. Look at the buyers at 217, 2,000, 2,000, 65,000. Wouldn't it be nice to know if you're in a trade right now that you're coming up to and you want to know where the buyers are, where the sellers are? Well, guess what? That's what we're going to learn. Now, I'm going to ask everyone one more time. Did I get everybody's attention? Did I get everybody's attention? All right, good. Because that's why we're here. Because you see this little red line right there? You see it right there at 220? There was a 134,000 share seller at 220. Okay. Now, when I go over here and I look over here around 220, and you start adding all those MACDs and Fibonacci's and all that crap that you're using, actually, it's a little distracting. Let me just get it out of here. Do you see on a chart that 130,000 share seller? Do you see that out there? Do you see that big seller out there that I just showed you for 134,000? No. But he was out there, and he's been out there since the market opened. So what I'm going to do, fellow traders, is I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to show you all how to trade and follow the money. Now, the goal is today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite all of you, after we're done in the next 40 minutes, to come join my trading room so I could show you this live, okay, for one whole week. I just gave you a taste of how to follow the orders. Now, how do I know that? Well, let me tell you a little bit about myself, okay? Why am I here? What brings you to Cybertrading University? Well, let me tell you a little bit how I got started. I'm actually one of the original day traders who started 30 years ago, okay? That article right there from Forbes, a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street, that was a friend of mine, okay? This is where I was actually one of the first 1,000 traders out there that started day trading, and then obviously got into the millions. So you could look at me as your great-grandfather. I'm also the author of How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. How do I know that? Because I was a market maker. I live here in New York. I was trained by the best traders in the world. Now, why am I here? Because I'm here and sick and tired of seeing people like you losing money in the market, or learning from people that are teaching you the past, indicators, Fibonacci's, newsletters. Well, how would you like to learn how to trade like a trader? That's why we're here. So hopefully I got your attention, because this is why I've traveled around the world and I beat every single school in the industry. And I'm not doing that to kind of brag. I'm doing it because a lot of people were not traders, okay? And if you want to learn, you have to learn from a very established company and someone that's been doing it for a while, like us, because that's why, I do presentations for companies like NASDAQ, for Thinkorswim and TradeStation, and all of them being endorsed by some of the biggest brokerage firms and having a 5-star rating on Google, okay? Because what we teach works. But to make sure it works for you is what I'm about to show you in the next 40 minutes. So what I'm looking for today is I'm looking for people that we could teach, okay? I'm looking for new traders. I'm always looking to recruit traders. But to make sure that you're going to be part of the people that you see here at Cybertrading University, I need to show you exactly what our style is, how Wall Street traders trade, and see if it's something that you want to do. Now, what's going on this week is going to be a very exciting week. We're in earnings season, okay? And there's been a lot of good volatility. Everyone's getting nervous. They're thinking like, maybe I should trade, maybe I should not trade, But the thing is, how are you going to learn how to trade if someone's not teaching you, or you're trading with a successful team? So I'm here to kind of show you exactly how we find these stocks, if they're going to continue to go higher, all that good stuff. But to do that, we all ask this question: what makes volatility and opportunities? Because that's what we're looking to do. By the way, Margaret, hello to you too. There are so many stocks that are moving in today's market. For example, TPST that we traded. Now, I'm an actual day trader. What exactly does that mean? I like to trade over the course of the day, make my day's pay, and that's it. But I do swing trading. I do some options trading. But to be good at those, you have to know what happens over the course of the day. So you don't have to feel like, well, I can't afford to do this or do that. You all could afford to do it. That's not a problem. You just need to know where to look. Because when you find stocks like TPST and the stock goes from 4 to 7 in less than an hour, you know, that's what trading is. Or a stock like Coin, if you want to trade like a brand name stock, because what's going on with Bitcoin, you know, a stock goes from 73 to 80 in less than an hour. This is what trading is all about. Or Mara, because they own a big share of Bitcoin. You know, there are so many stocks to trade, but it's the volatility and news that comes out on these stocks that make these things move. But you got to know where to look, and you got to know where to find them. Okay. So you might be asking yourself, how do we find stocks like this, Fausto? I mean, like, I heard about it. Where do they come from? Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to show you that for being in business for 30 years, okay, you got to know where to look. Now, it doesn't take that hard. We broadcast all our trades on all our social media. I don't know if anyone here subscribed on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube. And if you are, make sure you like us and friend us, please. And make sure to make your comments. We answer all your comments. But mainly follow us, because we'll give you those stocks that we trade, okay, and how we find them before they make their big moves. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, okay? All I do is I work off a scanner. That's it. Now, there are so many companies you might read that might come out with some big news. I'm like, oh my God, you know, big earnings coming out on Google and, you know, Microsoft yesterday. You got Amazon, you got Facebook today. I mean, you got all you had Snapchat. But what about the companies that have FDA approval? How about the companies follow bankruptcy that you could short? How do you know that the thing's even moving? It all starts by working off the big percentage gainers and losers. That's it. Now, you're probably looking at this list and be like, okay, Fausto, but how do you know out of all the top 20 most volatile, most active stocks, which one is going to give me the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward? Well, that's why I'm going to invite all of you to come to my trading room. I'm going to show you how we scan those stocks. Because let me ask everyone a question. Why are you really here? You know why you're here? Not to make money, to stop losing it. Because how many of you actually go out there and might trade a stock and you lose money? Because the winners, I mean, who cares, right? The winners take care of themselves. It's the losers you have to worry about. And it's the losers you got to make sure that you're trading the right one that's going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward, is what I'm going to show you. Now, why do most traders will look at the past? You know why? Because the past is always right, but it's not indicative of the future. And that's why people fail in trading. You might, I'm just out of curiosity. Has any of you here, I don't know, I could probably do a poll. Let me see, is my poll working? I want to do a poll and get people involved in this conversation. So let me see. First of all, I want to see what kind of trader everyone is, okay? So is everyone here a stock trader, an option trader? I'm going to have a little poll question up there. Let me see how, get to know a little bit of everyone in this room. So if everybody could just click on it. I don't know if everybody could see it. The poll question. Did everybody see the poll up there? Options? No. Okay, no problem. All right, just tell me in the chat room. What kind of trader are you? Are you stock trader, option trader, Forex, futures? Okay, there it is. Now we have the poll up there. All right. So it looks like we got a little bit of everything. Perfect. All right, let me end the poll. I'm going to share the results so you can see a little bit everyone where you basically stand. Now, the reason why, now listen, if you want to be a good options trader, let me tell you something. You better learn how to trade stocks first, because the movement of the stock that makes an option move, it just comes that's just, point blank. You're a swing trader, you're a Forex trader. Let me explain something a little bit about those. If you're doing something more than 2 or 3 months and you're not making money now after all that time, it's 2 reasons why. You probably got a bad person that taught you, or secondly, it's not your style, or third, you're self-taught. Okay. So I just prefer to trade the stock market, because when you turn on its financial stations, open the paper, that's what they mainly talk about. It's just easier to follow. But the way to follow what's moving in the market, and the reason why I like to trade the stocks, is because you have access to see where the orders are, where most people looking at the past. I'm going to teach you how to read the future, just like I showed you with Tesla. Okay. So let me see if I can do another poll here, if it'll lets me. All right. Now, do you have access to level 3 quotes? So let's put a poll there. Limit losers is your game, Lewis. Okay. Another question here. I paid for a week. Yes, no problem. Tamara, you actually did a trial, but you had to cancel. You had a death in family. Sorry to hear that. Yes, you can come back whenever you want. Just talk to education advisor and we'll take care of that. Okay. Sorry to hear that though. All right, let me end the poll. Matt, you have love. Okay, we're going to talk about Bookmap 2. All right, good. So let me end the poll and let me share that results. Now you could see that trading is about an 80% failure rate. Okay. Now what you're about to see right now is what I just showed you before. Okay. I'm going to talk about level 3 and level 4 and how it works. So what you're going to see right now is you're going to see all the orders out there. Now, I don't know if anyone here has ever seen me on NASDAQ. I was actually on last week. I'm a regular guest at the NASDAQ Center on their TV show, specifically talking about how to trade their exchange. Because when you trade the market, a lot of you aren't really trading the market. You're not using the tools that they give you. You're using something a brokerage firm gave you that they're trading, wants you, and they're seeing everything you're doing. Well, how about having a seat on the exchange? Those days are happening now. You don't have to be like in the old days, you had to buy a seat on the exchange. Every brokerage firm offers it to you. So I'm going to show you how you see it and how it will make you better and smarter trade. So let's talk about NASDAQ Bookviewer really quick. And we're going to talk about this and then we'll talk about the other stuff. All right. So AMD. Let me get my crayons out here. Hold on a second. That's my crayons. All right. So right here, these are your buyers. And these are your sellers. Okay. You have 3 very important columns: orders, shares, and then the bid, which is the price. So whoever wants to buy AMD is up on top because they want to pay the most. Whoever wants to buy it for less money is down at the bottom. So what you're looking at is what we call a negotiated market. It's one big chat room of everybody around the entire world and where they want to buy it and where they want to sell it. And everybody here is being aggregated together. So for example, you got 23 orders out there. That's 23 different people around the world that make up 2,800 shares, and they all want to buy it at $100. Okay. Obviously, this guy wants to buy it for more, so he's up on top. So for him to buy it, if he wants to pay, he's got to pay up. Otherwise, down here at the bottom. So that's what I mean by a negotiated market. Same thing for the sell side. Whoever wants to sell for the least is up on top. Whoever wants to sell their shares for more money is down at the bottom. Very simple way of looking at it. Okay. Now, how do we utilize this data? Okay. So let's look at what we call support levels. We're looking at a stock, Microsoft. Stock is coming down, right? Now it goes from 331 and it stops right around here around 328. Why did it stop at 328? Well, and went back up to 330. Well, only one reason. If you look over here, there must have been buyers. And when you work your way down the buyer section, you'll notice that there is a 64,000 shares looking to be bought at $328. And there's 125 orders out there that make up the 64,000. Now, when you look over here on the left, you'll notice that there are a lot of buyers at every single price level. So, but the problem is there's 11 shares, there's 67 shares, there's 400 shares. 64,000 is not a joke. That is a big, big order out there. That is probably 100 times more the average at any price level. So when you're trying to find, when you're looking at, support levels, well, support levels do not exist unless the buyers are out there. Everybody does it backwards. Everybody does that. Everyone's looking where a support level is. No, you can't look at the past. You got to look at the future. And the future is, if you think this is support levels, there damn well better be buyers out there to support that support level. Now, let's look at another example. Let's look at resistance. So here we're looking at Mara. Stock starts at the open, goes to a price right around here, around 10.50, shoots up, hits right around this price above 10.60, and comes right back down to $10. Why did it stop at 10.60? Why didn't it go to 11? Why that number? Well, obviously, a resistance level must have sellers. The sellers on the NASDAQ Bookviewer over here on the right. And when you work your way down, you'll notice that you got a 92,000 share seller sitting there right at 1070, which is right here. And that is right here. So when you're wondering why that stock went down, and it started here and decided to go up and come back down and up and come back down, it's because it wasn't something that happened in the past. It's what happened here in the future. 92,000 shares is a hell of a lot more than 5,000 shares and 10,000 and 4,000 and 3,000 and 1,000. That is a substantial amount. How much smarter and better trading decisions, or how much more comfortable you would feel if you knew that you were in a position right now and you were coming up to a 92,000 share seller? Would you want to own it? Would you still think it's going to go higher? Well, didn't work out too well for the person who was working on their indicator. So, question I have for everyone. Did I lose anybody yet? Did I lose anyone? No. Rhonda says a little bit. Okay. Well, Rhonda, let's think about this. What makes resistance levels on a chart? Sellers. What makes support levels of a chart where a stock bounces? Buyers. You're seeing the buyers and you're seeing the sellers. That's where it all comes down to it. So let's look at some more examples. Okay. Let's look at this Tesla trade. All right, I'm going to use a couple examples. We're going to have some fun. Okay, I want to test your knowledge. By the way, nobody could read anybody's chat, so don't feel embarrassed to share it. And if you say something stupid, I'd rather you say something dumb than not say anything at all. Because if you don't say anything at all, how are you going to know if you're right and wrong? You know what I mean? So let's look at this stock. So the stock is going up. Now, our goal is to know is where do we sell it? Okay, so we need to know. So this stock is going up, needs to hold at support levels after the market moves up, which it did. All right. Now, where do you see a support level on the Bookviewer? Can anybody tell me? Where do you see support levels? Manuel, we'll get that into a minute. Where do you see supports? By the way, if you can't answer this question, just give me a question mark. I'd rather you lie to me, or guess than not do anything at all. Well, for a stock to have support levels, all right, we got to look over here on the buy side. And we're working our way down, and the column you want to focus is on the shares. And right here, you got 157,000 shares, which is right here. That's this person right there. All right. So at 150,000 shares at $216, what do you think is going to happen when we get to that price? Is the stock going to go up or is it going to go down? It's probably going to go up. Probably going to go up. And that is the reason why that stock did go up when it hit this price right here. Its stock went up. Hold on. It went up. Then when it backed off, it came to a support level, which was 260. And then when it hit that big buyer, it showed up. It ran all the way to 218. Now, how much smarter and better trading decisions? If you missed that stock at 214 and now it's at 216.50, and like, well, I don't want to chase it. I want to, it's starting to go back down. Did it go back to 214? No, it stopped at 216 because of that 157,000 share buyer. And that's what you call a higher high of a stock that just keeps making new highs. Now, let's look at another example. Can we see more? Absolutely. LADN makes a big pop, meaning it's going higher, right? Where is your target to get out of it? So I'm going to ask everybody that question. Let's try to figure this one out. You guys have been trading for a while, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Where do you think, where's our target to get out of the stock? Jeff, if you don't know the answer, you shouldn't be trading. What would you use? What would be your explanation of it? Like, I mean, how would you know where to get out? Need to see sell orders? Wow, now all of a sudden, Jeff, you got the answer right? We need to see where the big orders are, right? Kevin, where's resistance? Well, resistance, Kevin, does not exist unless those sellers are out there. I don't know where you got $2.80 from because the stock's already at 320. Well, how about this? Let's look where the orders are. So for orders, we know where the sellers are, right? The sellers right now, we got to look at on the sell column, and we can see right here at 350, which is right around here, there's a 47,000 share seller right here, right there. See that? So we're almost there. I mean, the stock went on from 240 and we're right almost at 350. Now, you might have people says, oh, this stock was an $80 stock. It's probably going to go to $10. Oh, you know what? I see resistance levels at 450. Really? How about getting through that 48,000 share seller first? Because when you look at every single price level, I don't see everybody here showing 48,000 shares, unless we get down here at the bottom. And guess what? Why most people think it's going up? Didn't really do that. And it didn't do that from 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Never wanted to get it past that 350. You ever want a position and be like, I don't understand. Why is the stock not going higher? I mean, like, it's been hovering here. It's doing great. Why is it having this issue getting past this price? Well, I don't know. Maybe because that seller's out there. I mean, how much smarter and better trading decisions would you have made if you saw that? Just like I showed you on Tesla, which, by the way, anyone here that logged in late, don't worry about it. We're going to go into the live markets. I'm going to show you exactly what we're looking at. All right. Now, everyone here is going to ask, how do I get this Bookviewer? Okay. Well, has everybody got a piece of pen and paper? I want you to take down my email address, faustop@ctucorp.com. And I'll be happy to give it to all of you. Oops. I'll put to everyone. There we go. Take down my email. It's my first name, last initial. And I'll tell you how to find it on NASDAQ. And not only that, I'll give you a workshop, a free workshop on how to set it up and how a couple of more examples on it. Now, let me ask everyone a dumb question. If you can now see about 70% of where the buyers and sellers are, what's that worth to you? Because I know what I paid for it 30 years ago cost me $1,000. Okay. Now, if you're looking to get into a, I don't know, $250,000 job, do you think when you buy into a business, everything is free? Right? 10,000? No. How about this, Michael? Doesn't cost 10,000. Doesn't even cost 500. Doesn't even cost 100. Would you pay $15 for this to have a seat on the exchange? Would you pay 15 bucks for it to have a seat on the NASDAQ exchange? Because that's what NASDAQ charges, $15. What's the worst thing can happen? You see a 47,000 share seller on a stock that you're in right now. So let me be very honest with all of you here. You want to be a good trader? Be prepared to spend money. Okay? Nothing is free in this world other than, the cheese in a mousetrap. All right? And we all know what happened to the mouse. Okay? We're not here to tell you these things cost when I started $1,000, $15 to see where actually, I'm sorry. NASDAQ controls about 50% of the volume out there in the market. To see where 50% of the buyers and sellers are, you tell me that won't help you make better trading and smarter trading decisions? Well, that's what separates why people fail in trading and why people succeed. And I know you all are smarter than that, okay? Because that's why you're here. And guess what? The people that don't want to pay the 15, those are the people we want to trade against. Those are the people, the brokerage firms, the Fidelities, the Schwabs, the TD Ameritrades. They want accounts with those people, those dumb people, because those are the people they're going to trade against. You got to understand something. The brokerage business is a big casino. They are trading against you. You ever heard of the payment per order flow? I don't want to go into details about it, but their goal is if you lose anything you buy, they're just trading against you. Sorry about that. They're just trading against you. And so that's why you all are coming here, because you realize that I don't understand why every time I buy it, I always get at the worst price. And how could I see these orders? How do I know? I mean, think about it. How do you really, really, really know you're getting it at the market price? How do you really, really know? Now you will. Now, let's move on. You think level 3 was great? Let's talk about level 4, okay? So let me show you how we use level 4 in today's markets. Now imagine you have a heat map. Not only you have level 3 on the right, but now you could see how long he's been out there. And now you could see, did he add to this position? Did he take away from his position? And now you could also add other exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange, EDGX. There are other exchanges in the world. Let me show you how we're going to use it and how we find and how it bounces off support. So let's look at the stock IONQ. Now you notice this whole black area, okay? Those black areas, the darker it is, that means the less shares are at every price level. And you'll notice that you have this big red line hovering around $15. And the reason why it's red is because there are 22,000 shares looking to be bought down. Now, as that stock is going down, if you own that stock at $15.90 and now you're at $15.20, you're probably crapping in your pants. You're like, oh my God, I'm losing money. I already had this stock. Do I sell it? Do I hold on? The only person that's going to save you are other buyers out there. So look what happened when we came up to this big buyer right here. What do you have right here? Big buyer at 15, right? 22,000. And not only that, but another buyer showed up at $14.90 for another 26,000. What do you think is going to happen when we get to that $15 buyer and the $14.90? Oh, sorry about that. Could you hear now? That was weird. Okay. I just saw someone muted my mic. All right, so you see how that thing happened right there, how they hit that support level and bounced right back? It all happened because that big buyer was out there. That's why it went up. All right, now let's see the reverse. Let's see what happens when a stock hits a resistance level. So here we're looking at Apple. Okay, Apple is going up. It's at 176, 78. It's trending up. And you'll see this big red line. Now, this seller's been out there since early this morning. And not only that, but there are two orders out there for 51,000 at 79.50 and 79.70. Now, here you have a stock, you're getting up to these big orders out there of 50,000 shares, over 100,000 shares, okay? Over almost $18 million worth of stock. And the goal is to have a game plan, because if you had a position, your goal is to know, okay, where am I going to get out? Where the sellers are, because that's where you need to sell your position. And by knowing those sellers are out there and you didn't get out, that's what happens when the stock goes down on you. It all happens with these big buyers and sellers. And look how fast that stock came down. It shot up from that 179.70. It dropped all the way down to 178.80, like that. How could that even happen? Is because it was all about that seller that's been out there all day. And if you had that game plan, and if you knew he was there, you probably would have got out also. But because you're using some newsletter, or, earnings are coming out, or, what they're talking about on TV, it doesn't matter what they say. It matters what the street does, okay? You want to be on Wall Street, or you want to be on Main Street? This is Wall Street. Everything else is everyone's outside waiting out the door on Main Street. Now, let's go look at some of your stocks. Let's have a little fun. Anyone here have any stocks that they want me to look at? And we'll put this to your test. Let's have some fun. Anyone? I'll look at some of the stocks here. Let me see what everyone has. In the meantime, let me set up over here and get some positions. Oh, by the way, let's go back to the Tesla trade. All right, let's go back to Tesla, because some people didn't see this. Since we started, let me zoom in over here. We started around 12 o'clock, right? Here's 12 o'clock. This is 12 o'clock right here, right? You see this right here? And what happened at 12 o'clock at this price right around $15? The stock went up. Look what happened up here around this this price right around here, around this $22 and $19. Why did the stock go down from this 220, and why did it bounce at this 215? Some of you are already here. You already know about it. Orders. And when you look at this, that was your big seller around the 220 and 219. You see those lines? And then look at all the buyers out here at 215. See how that buyer came in here around 216 to 215? Once it hit it, it went right back up. So you could see the stock is trading in a range of support at 215 and resistance at 220. I don't know about you, but did that seem complicated? You know what the hardest part about trading? Greed. That's what people get hurt. Discipline. That's where people get hurt. All right. So let's look at a couple of stocks. I'm going to try to pick somebody's stock here. Google. Okay, let's look at Google. I like that one. You know why? Because Google came out with earnings yesterday, Matt. We'll look at Google. Okay. So looking at Google right here, Google came down. And you could see from here, this is from yesterday also. Let me look at yesterday. So there's the earnings announcements right there. It was at roughly around 139. It tanked. And you could see it had a lot of support levels around here at 130. And then all of a sudden the market opened up and it tanked. It went down to this about what number is that? 126, right? And then from like 9:30, never went below 126. It just hovered there, right? All day, just hovered right there. So let me draw my trend lines here. So here's 126. Now, can anybody tell me where's the next resistance levels past 126? So you guys could tell me where the resistance level is. What's the next resistance? You know what? Let me zoom in over here. Maybe this will help you. 126. Okay, some of you saying 130. That's right there. So you think the stock is going to go from 126 straight to 130? Okay. Some of you saying 128. All right. 129, which is there. Some of you saying 120, 127. Right there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put a number here. All right. We're going to have some fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. So can everybody tell me if we're at 126, where's the next resistance levels? Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? Let's see, I already answered this. See how you figure this out. Now, I agree with all of you. There's resistance levels at every one of these price levels. But if you're looking at 126 and the stock right now, you can see it hit what, 127? And then it came back down. Now it's back down to 1. Look where it is right now. Okay. And you could see that that must have been that resistance, this support, this support. So really that 127 is really the real resistance levels. And think about it. If you went at 126 or 127, you made $1, 1,000 shares, $1,000, $40 million salary. Now let's look at the level 4. All right. And let me blow this up so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. Let me blow this up. All right. So you could see right here, you see this little red line right here? That red line is 126. Look at this line right here. This seller showed up at 127, not as much as the 19,000 share buyer. Or what order is this? Probably this is about close to about 50,000 right here. But you could see that there was a seller out there. You could see where it got a little orange, and it was not that much, about 5,000 right now. But you could see you got 19,000 here at 126, and you got 5,000 at 127. It's not a huge seller, but it's a lot more than the 700 or the 400. You know what I'm saying? So did that seem hard? Did that seem complicated? Knowing that you saw a stock at 126, you bought it, got to have a game plan. All of you said 128, 130. If you were looking at 128, 130, guess what? You lost money. You just lost your money. You just convert a winner to a loser. How many times has that happened to you? Well, how about this? Who wants to stop losing? Who wants to stop making these mistakes and wants to learn how to start reading the future? Great. You do, Arthur? Rick, you do? Smith? What about you, Irene? I didn't hear from you. You, David? All right, good. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you how we're going to learn more, because 40 minutes already went. How fast and how fun was that? This is what I want to do. I want to invite all of you to come into my trading room. Okay. Now, I started the first online trading room before anyone has ever started. I actually started the first educational school. Actually, I think it was like 3 of us that started, but I started the first stock trading one out there. Somebody did a futures, and another person I know did there was 2 futures out there. And they're still into business today. So I was one of the first people who started this trading room. You see them popping all over the place. A lot of people are probably my students or instructors that work for me. But we are actually the godfather who started all. But I want to invite all of you to come and see and watch how we train our traders and see how they think for themselves. So you're going to see all my students. You're going to see all my traders, okay? And I'm going to have you in there for one perfect week. And you'll see why Cyber Trading University is endorsed by some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry, okay? And I don't think anybody here, if you took classes, could ever say, oh, Fausto, XYZ is endorsed by Thinkorswim. Oh, ABC was seen on NASDAQ. No, these brokerage firms do background checks on us, credit checks on us. Believe me, they want to make sure that we have a clean record. Not only that, but we got a 5-star rating on Google. There's a reason for it. There is a big reason for that. So you want to know why that is because we teach people how to stop losing money. Where everybody likes talking about the winners, I don't like talking about winners. I'm not a bragger. I don't like people bragging. I think that's showing you, being insulting, but some people like it. That's not my style. Maybe when I was 22, not when I'm 52. So basically what we do is we do live trading. We start from 9 a.m. to 10:30 in the morning. We do live commentary. We actually start at 8 a.m. in pre-market. We'll do some afternoon trading. We'll trade the last hour and a half in the close. It's all live. It's all audio, just like you're seeing now. And I want you all to see and hear what we do. Not only that, but we do Q&A sessions, workshops that you're going to get. We're going to bring other guest speakers in. There's a lot of stuff that we carry that you're going to get. Now, this is what it's going to cost. All I'm asking for is $9. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. Now, why is it so cheap? Listen, I could charge you $1,000 for this, and I had people that pay for it. I don't care about the money, okay? All I care about is serious traders, okay? That's all I'm asking for. And the thing is this, if I didn't impress you in the next 45 minutes, that none of that could help you make $9, then I'm not the right person for you, okay? But the $9 is going to be money back guarantee. I don't need your money, okay? I am just looking for someone that is a serious trader. And the only way I know that you're going to be serious, and because I don't know, someone's got their name in here is, Mr. John. I don't know who that is, So that's the main reason why. We need to know who you are. We do our due diligence, everything else. Now, by the way, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get 1 week in the trading room. You're going to get 3 pro workshops. You're going to get a trader's library. You're going to get everything. And not only that, I'm going to do a bonus. My bonus is this. If you register, I will actually give you a free a consultation with me personally. Now, why would I do that? Because you know what? If I'm going to teach you, I want to make sure that we have something in common. So if you register right now, you're all going to not only get a free consultation with me personally, which I know some of you said, wait a minute, I took a class with .com, traders.com, making up a name. I spent thousands. The guy didn't even pick up the phone. You guys do that? Yes. You know what I mean? That's why we're so popular in the industry. But it all starts with $9. And not only that, if you do register, I'm also going to give you my book. Okay. So I'm the author of my book. You could go on Amazon. You could pay $47. I wouldn't mind paying you and give me that money. But if you register, I'll give it to you for free. Okay. Yes. Come spend a week with us. It's money back guaranteed. It's all about finding real serious traders. That's all I'm looking for. So you could take your phone, scan that link, or put that thing there. Now, this is what you're going to get. Okay. When you all register, as you're registering, you're going to notice we're going to ask 5 questions. We want to make sure you let us know a little about you. Want to know if have you taken any classes before? Do you have a brokerage account? We want to make sure that you're set up properly. Okay. And then there's going to be another window where you're going to book your appointment. Every single one of you are going to have access to talk to my staff. And they're going to do a walkthrough with you. They're going to show you what's going on in the trading room. So you know where to look. We want you to just listen. We're just not going to throw you out there with the wolves. We want to give you that good customer service. We want to let you know what you're looking at. We want to know what you see and what you're hearing, and make sure you're set up properly. How many of you got into some trading room? You're like, okay, there's nothing going on. Or what am I looking at? What am I seeing? These are things we're going to do. So you got those two very important windows. When you register, those are the great things you're going to get. Now, going to do a couple of shout outs. Mohammed, I just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Celeste just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much. I just started. I'm seeing some of you register. I'll start calling out your names as you people are registering. Can I get this for a redo? Tamil, yes, you can. So if you took it before and you didn't use it, yes, you can. Don't worry about that. Just talk to the education advisor. We'll take care of it. But listen, traders, it's $9. $9. Think about how much money I just saved you, just what I just showed you right now, how to read the future. Look at that Tesla trade. How many of you known that you coming up to a big buyer at 126 and not knowing he was out there? How'd you know that? How would you like have known to get out of getting out of a stock, knowing that you come up to a big seller? Then someone teaching you how to use a, Fibonacci or a newsletter, So that's where that comes in. Couple of shout outs right here too. Manish just got your registration from Texas. Welcome aboard. Robert Sang from California just got your registration. Thank you very much. All right. I will join your trade room after my vacation. Your webinar is very useful. Jan, that's great, but do yourself a favor. Register now and then just book your appointment later on in the future. Okay. Just lock it in so it's fresh in your mind. That's all. And yes, and that was the next question that people asked me. What does it cost after a week? $0. We're not going to charge you anything. Listen, if you don't want to continue with Cybertrading University, don't worry about it. We're not like other companies where you're going to hit you with like, oh, you know what? If you don't cancel, we're going to hit you for $200, and that's bad on you. Listen, that's why that you don't want to deal with people like that. If you don't want to continue with Cybertrading University, you don't have to. And don't worry about what it costs after the first 7 days, okay? How about you just learn what it's going to be like in the first day? That's what you got to focus on. Listen, if I could teach you how to make a lot of money, does it matter if you're paying money to take the class? But don't worry about what the class is worth. What you got to worry about right now is $9. That's it. All right. Any other questions? Do I need a brokerage account to do this? No, we do not want you to trade. We don't want you to buy anything. Okay. We just want you to watch. Okay. I'm going to bring my trading room right now here. These are my traders. They're all here on the left. These are all my instructors on the left. And you could see, like right now is the quiet time of trading. But you could see these are all the chats. They're having live audio commentary, but there's no audio commentary right now because the volatile times is not there. But this is all the trades. We're posting up images. We're showing you examples like this one. You could see like talking about stocks breaking resistance levels and iceberg orders. This is going to be really cool. You're going to learn so much. And you know what? The other thing, people always get scared. And they're like, well, I'm worried about, I don't know if this is for me. I heard bad things about that. Well, first of all, who trained you? And secondly, once you make the judgment, don't believe what you hear or what other people tell you. Let's go out there and see the facts of it first. All right. Any other questions? $9, fellow traders. $9. Listen, you're going to see where 50 to 70% of the buyers and sellers are. You're going to know how to read the future. Okay. And if you don't want to if you don't know where it is, you're trading blind. Trading is an 80% failure rate. How many of you here are not making money or breaking even? I mean, you think Social Security is going to cover you? You think now that you're retired, that you made all this pension, that the money you saved, you're going to trade it? You're supposed to not live off that. You're supposed to build on it. I just spoke to someone the other day. He just retired 2 years ago. He worked his whole life, saved up $500,000. $500,000. He worked, for 30 years. He finally cashed out of his IRA. He's down to 200. He lost $300,000 in less than 2 years, doing everything he can. He says, Fausto, I wish I found you 2 years ago And he says, guess what? No, you did. You found me now. Because he's like, everything I was doing, what you showed me was a total opposite. He goes, this was the most ridiculous $9 I ever spent. How would anybody would not even do that to even know before they even get involved in this? That's what trading is all about. How much is level 3 and level 4? Listen, $9. That's what it costs. $9. And I know you register too. Mankish, I saw you register. I saw your order coming here, but right now it just costs you $9. Don't worry about it. Okay. Let's think about this for a second. There are people right here now don't even want to pay $9. You know what I mean? Like, and that's okay. I get it. Maybe I'm not your style. Maybe you don't like the way I look, my hair, whatever it is. But you got to appreciate the content. You got to appreciate the orders out there. So you got to start somewhere. Don't worry about like how much money you need and brokerage account size or how do I get level 3 and level 4. That's the least of your problems. A lot of you are coming from, let me use a metaphor, an example. You deal with public transportation. You deal with the local bus industry, the train. You just got to introduce it. You could drive a car. That you now have to wait for the local bus service. And like, my God, you mean I could actually get a license and do it? What does that cost? What is that? You know, like, what does the car cost? What's it? Don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about that right now. And I don't have to convince anyone the difference between dealing with public transportation and driving your own car. Some of you, public transportation is perfectly fine. If you're living in New York City, you don't need a car. But if you're in the suburbs or you're out in the Hicks somewhere and not knowing that you had access to this, you need a car. Well, trading's the same thing. Some of you didn't know that you have access to the floor of the exchange. Now is your chance. Couple of new shout outs right there. I want to make a couple of Mike from California. Just got your registration. Mike M. Who else I got here? Charlene Henyard got your registration from Troy, Chicago. Welcome aboard. Steve Lindsay from Woodward got your registration. By the way, I'll be happy to show you that. He's all the registrations. See all of them right here? Just got yours. Who's this person? Leo just got you from, where are you, Belgium? Brussels? I don't know where you are, from a different country, I guess. Paul W from Poughkeepsie. You're right at the block from us, not too far. You what's that college up there? Marist. My son went up there for some program. I know that's where you got the culinary school. I went up there, great place. Who else we got that just registered? Brian M from Ontario, Canada. By the way, a lot of Canadians, 20% of my traders from Canada. You're going to do great in there. Okay. Oh, you're from Belgium, Leo. Okay, there you are. All right, good. All right, all right, no problem, Leo. All right. Any last minute questions, fellow traders? Any other thing? Now, listen, if you didn't register, that's okay. I know we have students in here. Some people say that. Maybe you're not ready. But listen, you got to learn somewhere. And by the way, let me just tell everybody this. You're going to have to take a couple classes with a bunch of people. You got to find your style. Some people like blonde head people. Some people like brown head people. Some people like black cars. Some people like green cars. Some people don't like cars at all, whatever it may be. But you all need to have someone mentor you. Okay. You're going to like something. So you got to learn from a bunch of different people. Buy a little bit of everything from everyone. See what their style is. Get in the door. But if you're going to be part of those people that are looking for free stuff, do yourself a favor. They just raised the rate in New York at $15 an hour at McDonald's. If you don't want to do this right, go back to your day job, okay? Because if you think education's expensive, try ignorance. And it's not fun. So make a small investment, $9, try it out, money back guaranteed. If you don't like it, like I said, but at least get into our trading room. Let's show you how to follow these orders, how we find them, knowing where they are, having that game plan. Stop focusing on the past. Let's focus on the future. And yes, you can use this. The question came up. You could do this for swing trading and you could do it for options trading. You could actually also do this for futures and Forex and crypto trading, which I don't do, but I know some other people that do. That's not my style. So if you want to know how to follow orders, even on those, you could do that also. Couple of more last minute shout outs. Manuel from Alexandria, Virginia, it's got your registration also. All right. So don't forget to book your appointments. Make sure you do your walkthroughs. Make sure you're in the trading room at the most volatile times, first hour, last hour. You don't got to be there all day. And make sure you watch those videos. In the meantime, everyone, I look forward to seeing you all in the trading room. Enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, a couple more people are just registering right now. Who else we got here? John Vince just got your registration from Illinois, from Farmer City, Illinois. All right, a lot of people from Illinois. That's awesome. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Happy trading. See you in the trading room.